What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley. For those who are new here, hello and welcome. And for all of my returning subscribers, hey. So today is roughly about 12 weeks out from my last frost date, and we are all kind of in like full-blown like garden planning mode. I shared with you guys like my review of the 2022 garden, and I shared some rough like goals that I had for the 2023 garden. I'm out of breath. So when I was sharing those goals, I mentioned how I wanted to grow a lot more herbs. So in this video, I will be sharing with you guys all the herbs that I have compiled that I will be putting out into the garden this year. A lot of these are culinary and medicinal. I am not a certified herbalist yet. That is actually something that I'm working on, but I'm just going to give you the reason why I'm growing them. I'm not going to give you all the benefits because I am not an herbalist, a practitioner of any type. So I ain't going to tell you what to do with it. You do your own research. But I did want to just share with you guys my thought process behind like each one of these, what my intentions are for these herbs. So I made my list, which I shared with you guys before. I keep a planner. I am very detailed when it comes to certain things, and this is one of them. If I don't write it down, it don't exist in my brain. So I'm just a planner girl, and so I do have a section in my planner where I keep track of things that I hope to bring into the garden for like future seasons or whatever, and herbs was top on that list. So let's just go ahead. Let's just get started. So like I said, a lot of these are going to be culinary and medicinal, and truth be told, I don't know what all of these are going to be for, but we're going to discover them. It's a self-discovery thing, and as I'm going through my herbalist course, I think actually getting my hands on these plants and like getting introduced to them and seeing what they grow like and everything like that, or what their process is in their growth, will be helpful for me to utilize them better. So enough of that. Let's just get into what I'm actually growing. So first things first, here is some summer savory. And do I want to share each? Well, whatever. So summer savory, when I picked this up, what really stood out to me was, first of all, it's an heirloom seed. I picked these up from my local nursery, but obviously the seed brand is Botanical Interest. That's one of my favorite brands for seeds, if I'm being honest. I find a lot of different varieties that I'm really drawn to. And then in addition to that, like the seed packet itself is beautiful. It gives you some like really good information on the back. It even gives you like an illustration of what the seedling is going to look like. I love that. Anyways, so summer savory, what stood out to me on the seed packet first when I was checking it out was that it was an aromatic herb. Fresh leaves add an exciting twist to salads, a terrific herb for rubs, terrific in herb rubs for grilling, and a fragrant bouquet filler. So what I got from that was multi-purpose, very aromatic. So it's giving me both visuals for like a bouquet filler, and it's going to give me smell. And then again, the illustration is just, I mean, it looks like a very airy, whimsical type plant. So I'm really excited to try this out. I've never cooked with savory before, so I'm gonna have to look up some recipes for some of these herbs. But anyways, let's keep it pushing. The next one here that I have is chervil. And I was talking to a friend of mine because I know that she's a really good cook. And she was like, I haven't seen too many dishes where you use this. This is considered a culinary herb, but it says it's a classic ingredient in French cooking. So that was like that would be different. Like I'm always looking for new ways to cook food because as a mother, I kind of find recipes that I like and I just stick to them. So whenever I get a new ingredient, I'm like re-inspired to like figure out new ways of cooking, new styles, and also different origins. So that's what really kind of drew me to this herb here. And again, just whimsical, beautiful, beautiful plant. All right, next up here we have some Mexican tarragon. Now, I have grown this in the past, and I'm gonna be honest and say I never used it in anything. I didn't. I don't know what I was doing. But so what drew me to this herb was that, again, it's a culinary herb, but it has flowers. So that was the first thing. And then also when I read the back of the packet, it said that, hold on. So they said that it's also called the Mexican mint, which in my mind, I'm like, mint, that'll be good for drinks. Like, I love to put together like a little, a cocktail. So I'm like, I wonder if the flowers are edible. And you know what? I should read to see. I don't know. So it says Mexican tarragon is a type of marigold that produces a delicious leaf with notes of anise. If you know anything about anise hyssop, you guys, I love that herb. Like, first of all, it's beautiful. It draws so many bees in, but it has like a licorice, minty like flavor. That sounds great, right? So yeah, so all of those things is why I went on ahead and picked this up. It was the Mexican mint for me, honestly. All right, next thing is basil. And I have a few different type of basils, but I want to just like overall umbrella of like most basils. Who doesn't love basil in the summertime? I mean, not only for your like classic Italian dishes or like a calabrese salad or anything like that, but like teas. I love a good basil tea. There's nothing else like it. It's just fresh. I love putting it in my cocktails. Again, I'm a girl that loves a cocktail. So a little strawberry, a little mint, or even like a little, or not mint, a strawberry and basil, or even like, what else would I was about to say? I don't even remember. Anyways, so basil in general is just a great culinary herb to grow, but then also you have some that are more rich in medicinal purposes. So first things first, of course, holy basil. You guys, it is the holy trinity, and for so many reasons, but it's really good just overall for like adding warmth to the body. It kind of has like a spice to it, which is really good for like any kind of cold or like, you know, anything like that. Again, I'm not about to go into medicinal properties, but when you think of holy basil, think of warmth. Anyway, so obviously I want to grow this in my garden because it's just a good herb to have. Any kind of basil is going to be great, but this one specifically, so good for your body and your well-being. I also have the sweet Thai, which I really wanted it more so for like ramens and like rice dishes and stuff, but this is another really good one, and also a really beautiful flower. Like, I mean, you can kind of see the illustration there. It has like that beautiful purple color, so beautiful in flower arrangements. All right, next up here we have marjoram. So marjoram is a sweeter, milder flavor than oregano, but wonderfully used in fresh salads and dishes, and excellent dried. I've never really used marjoram before, but I'm excited to try to figure out how or different ways that I can use them. So yeah. All right, next up, Zinger hibiscus. You guys, okay, so I love a hibiscus tea. It's actually one of my favorite type of teas, especially in the summertime. I've never grown it before. I didn't even think that it was possible. I always thought that you would have to have like a very specific type of hibiscus, and I was so pleased to find this in my local nursery last year. I actually bought it in the fall, so I wasn't able to grow it during the summer, obviously, but I'm really excited to have my hands on this and to grow my own hibiscus tea. Basically, this is like your typical hibiscus flower, but these ones produce these rose buds, which you can dehydrate and add them into teas, and they're really full of like antioxidants, but all in all, just a really good tea. It's also called Jamaican tea or Roselle for those who need another point of reference. All right, we got to go through this a little faster because, you know, I feel like me trying to explain every single one is going to take us some time. All right, next up here we have parsley. So I have a couple of different types. I have the giant of Italy and then also flat leaf parsley. I love parsley, especially to add into like salads and stuff like that. I'm sure they have medicinal purposes, as most herbs do, but all in all, I just really like them for fresh eating and just garnishing. So of course we are growing parsley. One of my favorite herbs to use when cooking and mostly for fresh using, cilantro. Now I know cilantro is one of those things that either you love it or you hate it. For me, I love it. I can pretty much eat this like broccoli. Just give me a bundle and I'm gonna munch it down. So definitely wanted to grow lots and lots of cilantro. The good thing about cilantro, even if, because these are like really prone to bolting really fast, let them go, get the seeds, and you can have like coriander seeds. So you'll still get something out of it, even if it ends up bolting. You can ground that up, add that into like different curries and things like that. Still so good. Double purpose, double use. Alrighty, so let's move on. Fennel. Now, I like the flavor of fennel, so don't get me wrong. I just don't have a lot of recipes right now that calls for fennel, but I'm still going to try again. I'm going to try again because when I bought fresh fennel before to like kind of test and see if this is something that I wanted to grow, I'm like, I don't really know how I can use this, but I'm gonna try again and I'm gonna grow some fennel because I feel like there has to be something, right? I'm on the fence, but you guys down in the comment section, convince me. What should I make with fennel? I don't know, but that's what we're growing. All right, next up here, we have dill. Of course we have dill because I love all things dill as well. I love cucumbers. I love dill pickles. I love like a good lemon dill sauce. I love a dill salad dressing, like making your own ranch, tons and tons of dill. Dill is like one of those girls that will always have a home in my garden. I've always grown dill from the first garden that I've ever grown, and I will continue to. So these are both like fern leaf types, but I've also grown the mammoth that grows like the really big flower. Those are beautiful in arrangements as well. So even though I don't have them here in front of me today, I will also be growing like a giant dill, mammoth dill. All right, and these here, garlic chives. You guys, so many good purposes for garlic chives, especially if you just want to add a little bit of freshness to your dish. I'm speaking from the standpoint of a cook. I love these guys, especially the flowers. Like if once they like have their purple heads, this has a white flower. I don't know if it's always white, but sometimes you'll get like the little purple flower head. Pinch those off and like sprinkle them, break them apart, sprinkle them over a salad. So good. Absolutely love garlic chives. All right, now we're kind of getting into the more like really medicinal herbs here. So first things first, borage. I never have to purposely grow borage in my garden because these babies come back. Like I want to say I've only purposely grown borage like once ever, maybe twice, because the second year I wasn't really sure whether or not I was going to have like some volunteers. But I don't even bother starting these seeds. Once you have this in your garden once, you will always have this in your garden. So I highly suggest borage. They bring the girls to the yard. The bees absolutely love them. So yeah, I absolutely love borage. They're beautiful. The flowers are edible. They taste really good, like in ice cubes. I like to put like the flowers in ice cubes and like put them in different drinks and things because they kind of have like that fresh cucumbery flavor. So good. Highly suggest. All right, and now a few of these I've grown, but a couple of these I have not. So let's start with what I've grown. Calendula, of course, so good for skincare. So good for skincare. You can also make a tea with the flowers. Very delicious, highly nutritious, highly suggest growing this in your garden. This is the Resina type. These have a lot of medicinal resin on them. So again, really, really good for the skin, but also a really good trap plant for aphids. Last year, I showed you guys, hopefully I showed you guys how all the aphids were just like clung to the stem of these flowers. These are amazing trap plants. I will definitely be growing more of these just to put like all throughout my garden this year. So definitely so good, so good. Chamomile, a great sleep aid, you guys. Another one that I don't think that I'm gonna have to purposely grow in my garden again. I sowed 2 really like thick patches of chamomile last year, and they pretty much overwintered. So I'm going to have chamomile in those spots forever and ever, and I'm really happy about it. But specifically, this is the Zlatiland variety. These flowers are just a little bit bigger than your like traditional chamomile. So got those. And then another one that I will never have to plant in my garden ever again in life, lemon balm. So I have these seeds and I don't even know why, because I never opened them up. But these are a perennial herb. It is in the mint family. I highly suggest putting these in a pot because they self-seed themselves very, very heavily. You don't want to have lemon balm all over your garden. So definitely put them in the pot, contain them in some capacity, even if they're in a bed of their own. Give them an area to let them thrive. But really, really great for like a sleepy time tea. It just kind of relaxes you. Just an overall really good plant. All right, now these 3 things here are like kind of like my bonus plants. I'm trying my hand at this. I don't know how it's gonna go, but we're gonna go for it. So the first thing here is Elecampane, or horsetail. How about that? Horse heel, actually. So this plant I actually read up on in my herbalism course, and I remembered seeing the seeds offered with Baker Creek, so I picked them up. These are mostly used for their roots. So it really helps with respiratory issues, or helps aid in respiratory issues from what I learned, not from experience. Again, I am no professional, but these are perennials. So once you grow them, you will continue to have these up until the point that you dig up the root, which is what you're really using horse heel for. But it's also an ornamental. The one thing that I will say about this plant specifically is they grow very tall. So that's why I'm like, okay, where can I put these where I will want these to be like big, grandiose like they are. Still trying to figure that out, but I do want to try growing some of this year. Next up here is marshmallow. Marshmallow is another flower or herb that is grown for its roots, but you can also eat the leaves. The leaves are edible. So they say these are really good for their mucilagin. What is the word? Create slip in your digestive tract. I'm not even going to try to butcher the word. I'm not even going to do it. But it just creates slip in your digestive tract, and that's something that I've always had a hard time with. So I am going to try growing marshmallow. I actually tried to grow it once before. Did not work so well. But what I realized is that these guys need a little bit of cold stratification. So this is probably one of the flowers that I will be starting in the winter sowing method, which I've already showed you guys that, but I'm going to be doing a round of flowers really, really soon. All right, and last but certainly not least is ashwagandha. I actually tried to grow this last year. Total fail. I was having a hard time with my seed starting. It was what it was. But I'm excited to give it a go again. It is known as the Indian ginseng of it all. And this is an adaptogenic, so it's really good at just like overall wellness, but it also helps with mood support, etc. So Another one that is grown for its roots, I don't know if I already said that, but I want to start a lot of this. I want to start a lot of this because I want to make my own like ashwagandha teas and to support me all through the winter because I suffer from SAD, which is like seasonal depression basically. So hopefully I do well this year. So that is the last herb, and hopefully, well, the video's not too long, it's not too bad. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing all the herbs that I will be growing this year. If you guys have any additional herbs that you think that I can try growing as well, definitely let me know down in the comment section below. What are you growing? Do you just use herbs for medicinal purposes, or do you just use herbs for culinary purposes? I like to use them for both because most of them are delicious. Not all of them, but most of them are. Again, I thank you all so much. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed seeing what I'm growing this year in my garden as far as herbs are concerned. And into the next one, I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity. Peace out.